Well, this week has been filled with major headlines in the U.S. and around the world. One America's Jennesh Agagas takes us through the top stories in our Weekend Review.
This past week, President Trump welcomes an agreement with Turkey to suspend its offensive in northern Syria. Also, longtime Congressman Elijah Cummings passes away at age 68. And NASA makes a historic move as it launches its first all-female spacewalk. Here's more on those stories and other top headlines in case you missed it.
The week begins at the White House.
President Trump is once again calling for the identity of the whistleblower to be revealed. President Trump tweeting on Monday morning that we must determine the whistleblower's identity to determine why this was done to the USA.
Later, Wisconsin teen Jamie Claus says she feels stronger every day, breaking her silence a year after her parents were murdered and she was kidnapped. Moving on to Tuesday, President Trump welcomes the 2019 Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues, to the White House. Also, the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says he will not comply with impeachment subpoena from House Democrats. Plus, in California,
actress Felicity Huffman begins serving her 14-day sentence over her role in the college admissions scandal.
And later in Ohio, 12 presidential candidates share a crowded stage for the fourth Democratic debate. Midweek, President Trump welcomes Italy's president to the Oval Office to discuss trade issues, as well as doubling down on his decision to remove U.S. troops out of Syria.
Whether Americans are in or whether they're not in, we want to see war stop.
Plus,
meantime, Democrat leaders say they will not hold a formal floor vote to launch an official impeachment inquiry.
Moving on to Thursday, a Brexit breakthrough.
The European Union and British government come to an agreement on an outline on Brexit deal.
And later in Syria.
We do begin with developing news out of Ankara as Vice President Mike Pence has announced the U.S. and Turkey have reached a ceasefire agreement in Syria. Pence met with Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan in Ankara today, and he agreed to suspend hostilities in northeast Syria for 120 hours.
Also,
he also mentioned to me in the past the corruption related to the DNC server. Absolutely, no question about that. But that's it. And that's why we held up the money.
Mick Mulvaney attempts to walk back Ukraine quid pro quo after seemingly hinting at its existence. And later, Energy Secretary Rick Perry resigns from his post, and longtime Congressman Elijah Cummings passes away at age 68. Plus, President Trump holds a Keep America Great rally in Texas, marking his first event in Dallas since taking office.
Since my election, we've created 775,000 new jobs across your state, including 70,000 Texas manufacturing jobs.
Finally, Friday.
The U.S. tariffs take effect on $7.5 billion worth of European goods.
And finally,
Stephanie, I have arrived at phase one at the MDM site. I'm going to work on a temp spill. And I'm assuming I can just temp spill this on phase one because we'll be picking it up later, even if we don't bring it right now.
NASA makes a historic move as astronauts Christina Cook and Jessica Meir conduct the first ever all-female spacewalk. Jennesh Agagas, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.